Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and today is my February 2024 palette ranking. So if you are new, this is where I rank all of the palettes I used in the month from least favorite or worst to most favorite and best. And it's a combination of old releases and new releases, whatever I happen to use that month. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Before we get too far, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. I upload videos twice a week. It is totally free to subscribe and I would love to have you back again on the channel and chat with you in the comments. So this was a light month for me. I only used 7 palettes this month. Now part of that is because I am currently on a low buy, so there's not a lot of new stuff coming into my collection to like add numbers to the palettes I've been using and reviewing and such, but also because I'm doing a couple shop my stash / panning projects. You know, I'm doing 24 products to pan in 2024, as well as my deck of panning series. I'll leave those linked if you haven't seen them and you're interested. So I've just been like focusing on fewer things, but like more in depth, like getting more uses out of them every month. But I still use some really good stuff this month, and even the lowest ranked palette is good. I don't dislike it. So let me preface it with that, because the lowest ranked palette of the month is from Nomad Cosmetics. It is the Hudson Valley palette. I recently did a video doing a look with this because it is in low stock and they are not planning to restock this palette. There's absolutely nothing wrong per se with this palette. It's totally personal preference. I mentioned in that video, I like the cool tone side more than the warm tones. Warm tones look good on me. I just don't gravitate to them very much. I like, I don't know, more cool tones or just like different types of colors than just neutral warm tones. I also don't feel like they have any cool tone shimmers to go with this, so the color story is a little bit of why it's lowest. It's also mostly mattes, which is okay. I prefer Nomad's matte formula to their shimmer formula, if I'm being honest, but it just isn't the most exciting thing I think that I used this month, is why it ended up on the bottom. Love the artwork, love the embossing, love the matte feel of the palettes. The quality is there. So again, don't think I'm saying that this is a bad palette. It's not. If you do like the color story and what you're seeing here, now's your chance to get this palette. It is not going to be, as I said, restocked once it is out of stock. And it just, that's what happened to be in the bottom this time. Number 6 from Ace Beauté is the Aura palette. I used this one for my Valentine's Day look. If you want pinks or purples or anything like that, I'll leave that video linked. I know Valentine's Day is long over, but it's got those color themes in it. And I talked about this one as far as like if you cover like the 2 mattes here, you can kind of see more how it's like a Valentine's-y story. And yeah, again, kind of like the last one. This one's not bad. I do like it. I like this one a little more just because of the colors in it versus the Nomad one. The shimmers are just fine. I think it's just because there's nothing super like sparkly or shifty in this one that it's not any higher. But I don't know. I don't dislike this one. It was just a hard ranking this month, you guys. And that's just where it landed compared to the other things. In 5th place from Adept Cosmetic is the Seahorse palette. I really do like this palette a lot. So to me, to see it so low in my ranking was like, what? That doesn't make sense. But I only used 7 palettes. So this is, if I'm being honest, where it lied or where it fell. Love the packaging. So luxe. I always love the stitching for Adept. This metal brazed piece is so luxe. This is a super expensive palette. I really like the textured shades like this one, Giraffe. I think you can see the texture. I'm not as much of a fan of the smooth formula that they have in here because they do have different formulas mixed in here of shimmers. I wish they were all the textured ones. The textured Adept formula is my favorite shimmer formula of all time from any brand, but they're not all like that. The shift is a little more subtle on some of these, not as strong and opaque. I know that was a criticism of the palette. I'd agree with that, but I do still like it. It's really light. It's really pastel. A lot of these work as really pretty, colorful highlighters. And I think it's just not any higher because the shifts are not super transparent or apparent is, I guess, what I'm trying to say. And the fact that it's an all shimmer palette. I don't normally do an all shimmer look. I usually use at least 1 or 2 mattes. So because of that, I didn't feel like I could rate it any higher, although I do really like this one still. And number 4 from Gourmand Girls is the Haunted palette. This is one of the items I've been working on from my Deck of Panning series. I've loved every look that I've come up with this one. It's been really, really, really fun to play with. The colors really give you lots of options. You can go more monochromatic if you want, but you can also just mix some really fun colors together that maybe you don't think of. This matte black, so pigmented, wonderful also as a liner if you just want to do a shadow liner. I've grabbed this palette a few times, not even to use the rest of it, just the black, honestly, because they're so good. The shimmers are really good too. I have the Spooked palette as well. This is only my 2nd palette I've ever tried from the brand. And I had forgotten that the shimmers were this good. They're kind of that squishy putty formula, but I really, really like it. And yeah, I really want the Nightshade palette as well, but I'm waiting to see if they do like another sale or anything. That was the reason I picked this one up to begin with, is they had, I think it was like a 30%, 25%, something like that sale. So maybe I will get Nightshade the next sale. I just saw the collab with Steph's Beauty Stash, I think it is, that they just revealed. So that's fun to see something different and colorful from the brand. I feel like they've done a lot of like this kind of like brights and darks mix that looks like more brights overall. But yeah, just excited about Gourmand Girls in general as a brand to try more from them. Top 3. In number 3, we've seen this one a lot if you've watched my rankings. So the Glaminatrix Nearly Natural. It's the first few times I've pulled it out this year, but it is still my go-to. Like if I have a formal or glam event, this is it. I had a work-related thing, a solo and ensemble, if anybody out there is a music teacher. And yeah, so I wore this. It doesn't let me down. It's consistent. I love it every time. So I think that's why it's my go-to. The shimmers are so, so sparkly. Nothing's like shifty duochrome or multichrome, but it's just ultra, ultra sparkly. I still think this one's a contender for my wedding makeup because I'm pretty decided that I'm going to do my own makeup for my wedding. This one's a top contender. But even so, there were other things that really creatively got me going more than that one this month that I ranked higher. And number 2 was the other Nomad palette that is not going to be restocked. This is the Paradise Islands palette, and I loved the look that I did in the video with this. The blue, kind of like bluey, pinky, purpley look I did with that like dark Kaleidos Agave lip clay lip to make it like a little grungy. I want to recreate my own look. That's how much I love that look. So I'm like, okay, let's be more delusional and, you know, pull it out again and play with it more this month because I want it to be summer so badly. I can't wait. I have so many fun and exciting things and life-changing events, my wedding this summer, that I'm just really looking forward to it for a variety of reasons. So maybe that's a weird reason to rank it higher, but I just really am loving this one this month, and it gives me the creativity that I feel like I was lacking in the other Nomad palette I put in this ranking. So yeah, it's number 2 for me. And number 1 might not be a surprise to any of you, but girl, I'm consistent. What can I say? The Adept Cosmetics Plain Jane palette. This is the original one, and I just still love her. Every time she works, she's consistent, much like the Glaminatrix one, but I do like this shimmer formula more than the Glaminatrix formula. It's just, this is that textured formula I was talking about, that they have some in the Seahorse shades, but they in the Seahorse palette, but all of the shimmer shades in this one are that ACI is what they used to call. I don't know what ACI stands for, but I'm guessing Adept Cosmetics. I don't know if it's iridescent or what the I is, but this is my absolute favorite shimmer formula, and because it's more of the plain Jane neutral, it is so versatile to mix and match this with mattes from other palettes. I think ACI 2 is probably my most used of the palette, but even like the green, like they're all so consistently good. And again, some of these shades, such as this one, I've used as highlighters before, and they work really, really well and don't pick up texture, which is important to somebody like me who is combo skin, and there's a lot of highlighters that pick up on my texture, and I don't want that. So yeah, I hope Adept does not totally abandon that more textured shimmer, because I feel like more and more in their new palettes I've seen it less and less, and they've had more of a smooth formula. Just fine, it's not bad, but I don't think it's as good as this one personally. So yeah guys, that was a quick one, but those are all 7 palettes I used in the month of February. Let me know what you've been using this month. I've got so much work upcoming in March that I won't be super surprised if it's like a low amount of palettes again, just because same thing. Right now, my makeup is just like, I'm using the same products over and over of whatever's in front of me, because it's having to be a bit functional right now for me with all of the work hours. It's just like, put it on and go. I don't have a lot of time to sit down and let the creative juices flow, which is very sad, but it'll be all right. We'll find some days to get our favorites in there, and then April will lighten up a bit for me more work-wise, and I really hope by then I can get back to 2 videos a week. I know that's part of my intro, I have 2, but it's been 1 a week for like the last month. So thank you to everybody who made it all the way to the end. I appreciate you very much, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye!